Hi, I'm Peggy with Potato Patch Nutrition, here to do another question and answer with you today. This question was posed to me by a lady named Vicky, and her question was to me, how can I keep my mare from cycling while I'm showing her? And while we offer a really wonderful product called Miracle, which helps to balance and bring comfort and into the cycling of a mare naturally, a nutritional supplement is only going to enhance what the body is going to do naturally. It's not going to stop the body from doing something that's natural to the body, because nutritional support, of course, is just enhancing everything that is natural. So in order to stop a mare from cycling, that's going to actually take chemical intervention. And that can look like a progesterone shot or Regimate. You can check with your vet if that's something that you are needing to look into. So in order to show a mare that can be a little bit owly, the first thing that I would try is our Miracle. And just to try to make the cycle more comfortable, it's not supposed to be uncomfortable, and to help balance her emotional state. So if you have a mare who is a little bit owly and cranky during her cycle, then it is possible that she doesn't have enough support to produce the hormones that her body needs in order to, let's say, ovulate at the right time. And that can be why there's discomfort there, and also why her emotions are all over the place, because it is uncomfortable physically. And then they also, her mood is also supported by hormones. And so if there's not enough nutrition there to support those things happening, then that's what you're going to see. And so my first suggestion would be to get a product such as Miracle and start that and see if that doesn't help the mare to become rebalanced. And that can take 60 to 90 days. And the second thing that I would suggest strongly is to check your grain, your feeds, for wheat, especially wheat middlings, and GMOs such as soybeans and corn, because the molecules in them, especially the wheat gluten molecule specifically, are the same size as the hormone molecules that your mare's body has receptors for. And because of the same size as your mare's hormone molecules, they will go into the receptor site for that hormone and they'll park in it, but they don't offer the body anything. So let's say the mare is needing to ovulate and the body has prepared, the uterus has become swollen, and all that's required now is enough hormone to get the eggs to come out of the ovaries. And that's what happens during ovulation. So let's say that there's wheat gluten molecules in those receptor sites that would then cause that ovulation to take place. And then the hormones in her body are just circling in the bloodstream, but they can't help. And so that ovulation can take, instead of just say a few hours, it could take days. And so a very long extended cycle a lot of times will just be caused by something that simple. And so what we feed our mares, and we do have a lot of brood mares, and we have raised babies for many years. And I've taken a lot of mares who were World Show mares that are struggling to get pregnant, brought them to our place, taken and put them on oats. And oats are the best thing that a brood mare can be on, because she has to create a lot of hormones in order to get pregnant and then maintain the pregnancy. And it doesn't take a lot of oats. It just takes a pound a day, pound a couple times a day. And the reason that oats are so profoundly wonderful is that they offer the horse's body the correct type of oil that they can extract cholesterol from. And cholesterol is required to make hormones. It's one molecule of cholesterol actually is required to make one molecule of, let's say, estrogen or progesterone, in order for that mare to ovulate and then, of course, become pregnant. So it's very important that cholesterol is present. Now, if there's not enough cholesterol in the oats oil that's naturally found in them, then the liver of the horse can take the starch that's in the oats into the liver and turn it into cholesterol. It will just make cholesterol. It's a very simple process for the animal. So it gives that horse the ability to make whatever hormones it needs to make that day. So that's our preference. So those are the two things that I would first look into for your mare. And then if you just decide, you know what, I'm going to a big world show, I don't want her to be in heat, I don't want to deal with that, then I would contact your vet and discuss what you can give her, whether it's Regimate, whether that is a liquid, or you decide to do a shot. My personal preference was I like the week-long shots because you could give it, you could time it and give it, and then they would be out of season for that entire weekend. That was usually enough. If it's a longer show than that and you need to be out of heat again, then just time when the next shot should be given with your vet. But the first thing that you need to do about doing chemical intervention is begin to track her cycle. A mare cycle should be, if they are healthy, 21 days long. And around day 15, they're going to start building the next cycle. So if you have them on a supplement, say Miracle or something of that nature, that is there just to support the hormone production of the mare cycles, then on day 13, you're going to want to have that marked on the calendar to stop giving that to her. And then on day 15, you're going to want to either give the shot or the liquid, whatever you and your vet have discussed, and keep them on it through until you want them to begin to cycle or the show is over. And then 2 days after the chemicals have receded from the body, then begin giving them their nutritional supplement again, whether it's Miracle or something of that nature. And just some things to understand about long-term effects of chemical intervention is that if you are, let's say your mare was on Regimate for 2 years, and now you've decided that you're going to breed her. If you stop giving her Regimate in January, but you're planning to breed her February 1st, she probably isn't going to cycle. If she does cycle, it's probably not going to be a viable cycle. If you understand everything that has to happen in the mare's body, just ovulating isn't all that's required in order to have a baby. And so even if they are cycling right away, it may not be a viable cycle. You're going to want to give them at least 60 to 90 days, and you definitely will want to include some nutritional support in that. And part of the reason for that is that while they're not cycling, when you've paused the cycling chemically, what's going to happen is, just like any muscle that's not being utilized, the uterus and ovaries are going to downregulate. They're going to, because they aren't being used and there's not a lot of blood flow, their production of what they can produce hormonally can diminish significantly. And that can just look like they'll get pregnant but won't stay pregnant over and over and over. And some of them can't set it right without some kind of nutritional support. They won't come back online naturally. And so they could be cycling, but they aren't producing a viable egg. They could be cycling, but the garden in the uterus does not have enough of a blood component, or the pH balance does not stay very healthy. And so the fetus can't attach or it can't survive. And so they could be becoming pregnant but not able to stay pregnant. And so just knowing a little bit about what the effects can be. And when I say long term, it doesn't have to be very long. And the reason I say that is that if you understand that your horse's body every year has been completely replaced on a cellular level. So what that means is that every cell in your horse's body is replaced every year. And so every year your horse has a brand new body. So to downregulate something can happen over a year, but also during the next year, everything can be upregulated. And so you can bring them back up online, and it's not that hard to do, but they may require nutrition in order to do it. And so if you need nutrition for that to happen, then you might want to try our Miracle. It is wonderful. We've been using it for almost 20 years, a long time, and it is very effective. We've gotten quite a lot of mares pregnant that have been having difficulty before coming to us. So I hope that helps. And hug your fur babies. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Be blessed.